And welcome in, everyone. I am Taylor Gattoni. Thanks for joining us here on News 10 Plus today on this Thursday.
Another hot Thursday.
It is a very hot Thursday, and we have Nicole Buchmann from Studio 10 joining us now. Nicole, we were just talking about it being super hot, and you got some color. I got a little color. Look at that.
Yes, we love it. Make sure you're wearing sunscreen. Safety first.
Yes.
Safety first. But yeah, it definitely is nice that it's the first day of June. We have summer on our mind, although it's not officially summer yet.
Well, you were talking about it yesterday on Studio 10. I think Claudia got it right. It was
June 21st.
That is mind-blowing.
I
Because
know.
I know we always talk about Memorial Day being the unofficial official start, but you don't realize
How much more it is. Yeah, which is good because then we can enjoy, because summers goes by so quickly here in Michigan. So Too fast. But there's a lot of things to enjoy now that it is June. On Studio 10 today, we have a lot of interesting stuff going on our show. It's kind of like a little bit of an art theme. Now that I was putting the show together, I'm we have a lot of artists on the show. So tomorrow technically kicks off Art Path in downtown Lansing.
Yes.
So if you go on evening walks, evening jogs through the city on the Riverwalk, the Riverwalk is what it's called.
Well, notice how Nicole said evening walk, so later in the day when it's not so hot out.
Yes. So if you go on those evening strolls on the Riverwalk, you'll probably see more and more art. This is really cool. It's literally called Art Path because they put art on these paths.
That's so cool.
And we have more than 15, I believe, artists that are participating in this year. And so we talked to a few of them and where you can find them. Some are fun, get your ducks in the row and there's ducks on the sidewalk. Others are a spider. Some are an optical illusion. Yeah, so
don't say spider. I don't like spider.
As long as you're in a position of power, that's how I say. If they come from a ceiling, that's another story. But yes, so it's gonna be a lot of fun talking to the artist. And then we also have another local artist, but her canvas is more of a quilt. Yeah, so she was just featured in the East Lansing Art Festival, which is a very prestigious art festival. I don't know if you were able to stop by that art festival a few weeks ago?
I bought a little too many goodies.
Yeah.
I know we have one of our interns, Delaney, here. We bought the same hat.
Oh!
It says, be a kind human, be a nice human.
Be a nice human.
That's a good message.
Advice.
Yeah.
Wear sunscreen and be a nice human. Those are the sayings to take away from today. But yeah, so she'll talk a little bit about her craft, how you can get into it. Because sometimes, when you think of quilting, it's oh my gosh, those are for the older ladies. But no, it's for anyone. And now is a good time to pick up a craft. If you want to stay inside, do it outside. So she'll tell us a little bit about it.
And something interesting about quilts, like you said, it doesn't have to be your stereotypical quilt. I've seen people when they're spring cleaning and they're I have to get rid of all these t-shirts. What I do with all my old sports t-shirts, they put that and make it all right. So all right, cool.
That's a good graduation gift if you have a grad party coming up.
Tune in.
Yes, and then one of our last guests, and we're super excited to have her on. She is a local illustrator, and but this is really neat. So the latest book that she just illustrated is now #1 on the New York best-selling list.
That's really cool.
Yes. So she's
really
a little celebrity we have here. So she's going to tell us a little bit about how her illustrations, tell the story. It's called A Day with No Words, and it speaks to a lot about autism. So,
wow.
I know, just a double
powerful
whammy.
message right there.
Yes. So definitely don't want to miss today's Studio 10. Of course, it's at 3 to 4. We always like to have a lot of fun. Colton will join us.
You guys always have fun.
Yeah, we have fun, but obviously tell good messages as well and highlight these amazing artists that we have right in our backyard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Something fun to do. And again, with all of the heat, tune into Studio 10. Give yourself a break.
Yeah, go inside, enjoy some AC and some NB and CS and CC. Those are all initials of everyone's going to be on Studio 10. Do you see what I did there?
I was trying to follow along. It took me a minute.
I think too much sun is getting in my head.
It is. All right, well, like Nicole was saying, here are some ways to stay connected with Studio 10. Give us a second. We're maneuvering.
One of these days.
I just grew a few inches. All right. Anyways, so if you would like to stay connected, there are the different websites, the usernames to follow along. If you head to their YouTube page as well, this is a really great way to stay connected with Studio 10 because they post all of their videos from their fun segments in their shows. They put on YouTube. So, hey, if you can't watch at 3 o'clock, 3 to 4, all you have to do is go to YouTube. You hit that subscribe button that you're seeing on your screen right now, and you join. All right. Well, we're out here talking about the hot weather. I'm like sweating right now.
Yeah, once you start getting moving around a little bit, it gets hot.
Need a pool or something. We should have a pool in the building.
We should have a pool.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. And we've seen another dry day too across mid-Michigan. No rain falling from the sky, and that has been the common theme. We have not seen any rain in Lansing in 12 days, or Jackson in 12 days, and I don't expect us to see any rain for a while still.
I was looking at your Facebook earlier, doing a little Colton Cichoracki stalking on Facebook, and I saw that you posted a picture of just some grass at the park, and it was turning brown.
Yeah, it definitely is. We're starting to see some of those drought conditions here across mid-Michigan. There's a good reason, too, if you want to show you the graphic here. We've showed you this before, but now this is official because the final month of May was yesterday, obviously. Both Lansing and Jackson seeing a top 5 driest May on record. In fact, the 5th driest May on record, and that's significant. Lansing's records, Jackson doesn't go back as far, but Lansing specifically goes all the way back to the 1860s. So to have the 5th driest May on record in that span, that's pretty significant. And you look at some of those years, especially 1988, that was a really hot summer. It was a drought year, not the best. So hopefully that's not what we're going to be seeing as we head into this summer, but we did get the new drought monitor in. This is a map that I believe it's the University of Nebraska that looks at drought conditions, and then they kind of plot it on a map of where each area is seeing a drought. And what we saw on the latest update that came out this morning, because we get it every Thursday, is the abnormally dry conditions. The lowest level has now started to creep back into the state. We didn't have anything over the state last week. Now we have some. And what I did was I plotted how far below normal we were with rainfall last month. And you can see, that's significant, We're
pretty under.
2.7 inches below in Lansing. Look at Grand Rapids, over 3 inches below normal with the rainfall. So starting off, getting into summer with these kind of rainfall deficits, not the best, especially for farmers. I believe Justin did a story earlier in the week about farmers' impacts and things like that with this dry weather. So we need the rain. I wish I had more rain in the forecast.
Desperately, we need it.
I just don't have a lot of rain. So sprinklers are going to need to be going, and, you're going to definitely have to be taking care of your plants and yards and things like that. And today's weather's not helping. We're in the upper 80s and lower 90s now, and Mason is up to 90. Lansing is at 88. Jackson, I suspect that there's something going on with the thermometer in Jackson. I'm not buying that 83. It's been running a few degrees below everywhere else, so I'm thinking there's something maybe wrong with the thermometer. Just my theory.
I know, I was going to say, compared to Mason, Jackson looking pretty cool over there.
Right, so I suspect it's probably in the middle to upper 80s there too. So all across mid-Michigan, it's pretty hot, and we're going to see this continue throughout the rest of the evening. If you have any plans tonight, lug nuts are home tonight. Make sure that you're staying hydrated, stay cool if you can, find the shade, wear the sunscreen, drink the water.
The whole list of ways to stay safe in the sun.
Right. Because it is going to be another hot evening, very similar to what we saw out there yesterday. It is another air quality alert day. We talked about this yesterday. Actually, this has been extended through tomorrow as well. So what this means is that sometimes you can get ozone to be created on these hot summer days, or almost summer. It's not technically summer yet.
Feels like it is.
Yeah, it's meteorological summer.
Oh, there we go.
That started today.
Well, congrats to that.
We talk about... the meteorological seasons, we talk about them sometimes because meteorologists separate the seasons based on months and not based on the solstice or equinox. Do you know why?
No, I don't know why. Inform me, please.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to take it off the graphic real quick so we can talk.
This is interesting, So meteorologists break it up that way because the solstice and equinox can happen on different days each year. So sometimes summer can start on June 20th, or it can start on June 21st, or even June 22nd. And because of that inconsistency, trying to keep records straight, it would be different sometimes, right? It wouldn't be the same amount of days in that summer season. Yeah. So to break it up so that the numbers are all aligned, it's broken up by each month. Or by 3-month intervals.
When I was a kindergartner in elementary, I always thought that's how they broke up the seasons. Would be September to here would be fall, and here to here would be winter. So I was probably thinking
that's how
you guys.
meteorologists do it. So today, June 1st, meteorological summer, and that goes until September 1st when meteorological fall begins.
All right, take notes, people. This is good to know stuff.
We talk about this every now and then.
I feel like you do.
Yeah.
You always have fun little things that you talk about.
There's always stuff going on up here. So today's air quality is unhealthy for some because of that ozone. What happens is you basically get car exhausts or things like that kind of go into the air. Some chemical reactions happen, and it creates ozone. Ozone can be unhealthy for people to breathe in sometimes, especially if it gets into a higher level, and that's where we're at. Unhealthy for some people. So these are people with, maybe some lung disease like asthma or something like that, or sometimes older adults and children should just kind of limit their time outside if they can. We're not in the unhealthy category just yet, but
well, let's hope we don't get there.
No, let's hope we don't. So I just wanted to point that out. We've been talking about those air quality alert days because there are things that you can do to prevent this and kind of help it out, is by not getting gas, kind of limiting your travel, in a car and things like that. So there are some things that you can do. But with this dry weather and the heat, there's a lot to talk about, lots of different moving pieces. So I want to include it all. Extreme fire danger yet again.
Yes.
So
it's very dry out there.
It is extremely dry out there. So I wouldn't, fireworks absolutely not. No bonfires, because we are seeing this dry weather in place, and you don't want any fires to grow.
Nope.
That happened up in we talked about a little bit in News 10 Today 11, that Wexford County wildfire that happened over the weekend. That started from a campfire, and the DNR said that the person just kind of let the fire go on its own and went to bed.
Unattended?
Yeah, and it spread. A lot of people do that.
You really need to put those out all the way. There should be no more smoke.
Right. So just things to keep in mind. And what we're seeing right now on satellite radar is there are some showers and thunderstorms trying to pop up there on the southwest side of the state. This is with the lake breeze. We talked about the lake breeze yesterday. Unfortunately, though, the lake breeze is not going to get as far inland today, so we're probably not going to see any of this. But if your travel plans do take you to the southwest side of the state, you may run into a few of those showers. You can see all the way over there near South Haven, some of those showers and storms. But we'll probably stay dry today, unfortunately, and nothing really meaningful is on the way anytime soon, because our chance for precipitation, I left today at 0, but Saturday, Sunday, we could see a stray shower, and that's really more of a cold front that's going to be coming in, but those cold fronts don't have much moisture with it at all, so that's why we're only expecting limited chances of seeing rain. So the hour-by-hour forecast will show you that too. A lot of sunshine today, a few clouds every now and then. We'll see the same thing tonight. Now tomorrow, the lake breeze probably won't have much of an effect on our weather. Tomorrow's probably going to be a slightly hotter day. We'll see more sunshine, a little bit lower humidity tomorrow, and I do expect temperatures to probably climb into the upper 80s and lower 90s, probably more lower 90s tomorrow than what we're going to see out there today. So here is the 10-day temperature trend.
Oh boy.
Our heat wave does end. Once that first cold front comes through later on Saturday, we'll see slightly cooler temperatures on Sunday, and then that second cold front comes through on Monday, and that'll put us back into the 70s and 80s. But remember, top of your screen, average high 75. So we've been running about 15 degrees above average. Likely this is not going to be the warmest temperature that we see, this summer season.
This is still very hot.
Yeah, but it's still very warm, and you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to stay cool, keep your pets cool, all those things, because the heat is going to continue through the next couple of days, and then it should begin to kind of relax towards next week.
I know. Well, actually, I shouldn't tease this right now because I'll be talking about it coming up pretty soon. But anyways, we were talking about how this week looked like maybe a nice week for some people, but it's really next week with those cooler temperatures. You can handle the temperatures better. It's not as hot outside.
I'll be happier next week, I think, with that weather. Upper 70s, lower 80s. That's the weather I like.
I feel like the heat, they talk about heat exhaustion, but I really do think it wipes everyone out. You start getting a little foggy in the brain. You're not as hydrated.
Yeah, and when you get this prolonged, it's been several days of this, it's like, all right.
Get it over with.
Let's get this
We're
out of
getting
here.
cranky.
Yeah.
Well, some things that people should have with them today and tomorrow would be water for sure. What else?
Water, sunscreen. If you're going to be outside, the UV index is very high. So make sure that you're covering, skin and wearing hats and all that stuff. Any way to stay cool, any way that you can prevent yourself from getting sunburn. I get sunburned so easily, so I should listen to my own advice. But yeah, just making sure that you don't overdo it outside, and make sure to check on your neighbors, especially if you don't have AC.
Yes.
So just take it easy.
Speaking of that, I know in the 11 today, News 10 Today at 11, we were talking about Grand Ledge City Hall has their cooling center open today and tomorrow. So from 8 in the morning until 5 in the evening, they have that open. So if you're near the Grand Ledge community, if you live there or you don't, and you don't have air conditioning, you're like, hey, really struggling through this heat, I need a place to cool down. Go to Grand Ledge City Hall until 5 o'clock today and tomorrow. You can hopefully...
you know what I like to do when it gets hot outside?
What do you do?
like go to the movies.
Oh.
Sit in a nice air-conditioned room. Or, some people like go shopping, go to the mall or something like that.
Entertainment and AC, okay.
Just giving it some ideas if you don't have AC. If you don't want to hang out at home, there you go.
I have AC, luckily, but I may have to do that just to get out of the house.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, coming up during our 90 minutes of news today, we have a lot of heat topics to make sure that you and your family, loved ones are all staying safe. But first off, we are talking first at 4. We do not have a Mid-Michigan Matters today. I'm a little upset, but that is all right. We will instead be talking about student loan forgiveness. I know this has been going on for quite some time now. So just a little tease into it. The Supreme Court deciding whether or not to block Biden's plan on the student loan forgiveness. We will have this coming up during First at 4, during the time that Mid-Michigan Matters typically airs. Now, News 10 at 5, a merger brings jobs to Holt. So we're heading to, jobs are coming to Holt, and they are merging with a major to create more jobs by refurbishing medical imaging equipment. I just said that completely wrong. Medical imaging equipment. Yep, the heat's getting to me, Colton.
But it's like Imagine, just not. It's spelled like the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, 5:30, oh boy. We're heading to Grand Ledge, where the library is holding a supply drive for the Capitol Area Humane Society. They're looking for a bunch of different donations that you can help out with. So we will tell you the community, how you can help those in the community. And at News 10 at 6, our very own Ann Emmerich has an exclusive look at one of the key team members at Ingham County Dispatch and how she's helping to make the rough days a little easier to handle.
Quite the tease there.
Quite the tease. Rough days, haha. So that is what we have coming up during the First at 4, plus the 90 minutes of news. Very fun stuff. But our reporters are out in the heat, grabbing all these stories, keeping you informed on how to protect yourselves in the heat. So hopefully they come back in the building to take a little break soon. But to let you know what is coming up during the 90 minutes of news, we're going to toss it to Aaron Bowling first.
I'm Erin Bowling, and today I'm talking with Jackson County Animal Control about how to keep your pets safe during the summer. I'll be riding along with one of their officers to see how they respond to calls about animals left out in the heat. All of that story for you on News 10 at 5:30. Amaya, what are you working on today?
Thanks, Erin. Today I'm talking about graduation season. I'm here at St. John's High School, where today about 200 students will be filling up these seats and graduating. And although it's an exciting time, there are some safety concerns to keep in mind. I'll have more on that later tonight, starting at 6. Tanaya, over to you.
Thanks, Amaya. It's hot out here, and that's not changing for a few days. While everyone tries to find ways to stay cool, it's important to check on the older population too. Coming up on News 10 at 6, we'll hear how the heat impacts elders, and we'll have some helpful tips to help everyone stay cool. Digital Desk?
All right, Aaron, Amaya, and Tanaya, thank you so much for sharing, and we're looking forward to ways to cool down and protect ourselves from the heat. But speaking of, if you want to keep up to date with all of the weather and you want to see how hot it is outside, there's a good way you can do that. Colton?
Yeah, the News 10 First Alert weather app, free on your smartphone, downloaded. Lots of updates in there throughout the day. We talk about all sorts of things, and we also put like special content in there, like up north forecasts and things like that. So you can always find a lot of useful things. And even if you're going to be traveling, we talked about this yesterday. The app can follow you, so you can get updates no matter where you're located. And push notifications. If we ever get some thunderstorms in here and we get some severe weather, you can get push notifications sent directly to your phone as well. So just search WILX Weather, Google Play, and App Store on your smartphone.
Perfect. All right. Well, until then, make sure you're all staying hydrated. It is very, very hot outside. I was going to say we have air conditioning running throughout our building, and it is still hot inside of here. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. So have a great day, everyone, and we will see you. Studio 10 starts in about half an hour, and we'll see you First at 4. Have a good one.